Welcome to another episode of Behind the Grind. Joining me today is UFC bantamweight Andrew Ewell. How's it going today, Andre?
Pretty well, pretty well. Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. When you beat Renan Barrero, the former bantamweight champion, for those who don't know, what was the feeling like inside?
Uh, Truth be told, I can go ahead and say it was like super excited. I was excited, but I guess you could tell me, or I guess you can say it never really hit because they ended up stating like the wrong or like the whole new name that I have, like the whole Mr. Highlight. Not really like accustomed to it. So I'm like really trying to get used to it. So when they end up saying it, I couldn't even really bring out like the full excitement that everybody else had. But which be told, end up letting you guys know, like I am going with the name Day, which is on my Instagram. That's me. That's just my inner, basically my inner character. So hey, they need to end up understanding that. But I was definitely excited for on that fight. After I ended up winning, and was kind of like letting the world know, the world is freaking big, and I'm here to conquer.
Right on. I never really asked you, like your background a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Uh, Truth be told, man, I'm a grinder, man. Just like a straight on grinder. Came from nothing, trying to end up having something. Literally have a son named Eli Edward Ewell, and you can go ahead and say my whole career, my little MMA career and everything is basically based off of me trying to jump back in his life and everything. So not really in a good road with that, but the fight still continues. So that's just me trying to get there. But the whole background of me is that background or younger age, started at like 7, wrestling and taekwondo/boxing. Went back and forth. Moved around a lot, and that ended up driving me into always finding the bully. So there you go. And then next you just find out that you're just really good at something, so you kind of push on it. So that's what ended up happening for me.
Right on. So I actually watched you a couple of times with Kenny the Cage. How would you rate your experience with them?
Well, King Cage always great, man, because I know like the promoter like personally, like him and the whole family, Carlos and everything, so they're like superly cool with me. So they always gave me tough opponents, like my last King of Cage fight with Gustavo Lopez. He was like he was taught or Mishi Tate's, basically Misha Tate's pupil, if you want to go ahead and call it. He was supposed to be like the next big thing. And for me to end up taking that fight and winning the way that I did, I should have been in the UFC then, but it didn't happen. But it led me into the whole LFA and CES, and that's next I'm walking in there fighting Renan Barrero. So everything has a reason, and everything has a direction. You just got to keep pushing in that direction you need to be in.
Now, how long has it been since you've signed with Dodge Sports?
It's literally over a year now, like a year in a month or two. Best experience. Matt, which is his name, Matt Dodge, which is one who's running the whole Dodge Sports. Cool peeps, really family orientated, and makes you definitely feel comfortable. And as long as I keep winning, it's all the only thing for him is only going to be shooting up higher in the world. So it's a win-win in my books.
So without them, where do you think you'd be right now?
So without him?
Yeah.
I could go ahead and say, put it like this. I can go ahead and state without him, I could probably be same spot, whole 9. Because regardless of the situation, the manager doesn't make the fight. The fighter makes the fight.
Yeah.
Fighter makes the manager, if you want to go ahead and look like, or put it that way. And any fighter that ever, and this is like my advice to all fighters, if they end up feeling like they need that manager, you don't. But if you do have one, you ought to have one that's 100%. That's 100% about you, because you got to end up remembering they're controlling everything that you're placing in their hand to trust. It's kind of like you trusting your coach. Just because you have a coach doesn't mean you need that coach. You can end up going to another coach, but obviously you want your corner to be filled up with people that you end up trusting. So
For sure.
reality, I trust my manager. Reality, I trust my corner, and this is the reason why I placed them there. So if you can go ahead and say with them or without them, wherever I end up placing will be somewhere that I end up trusting. So at the end of the day, I'll be where I need to be. And I already knew I was going to be in the UFC, and it's hands down. And the person that was managing Matt knew I was going to be there. So it's like a good connection, you know.
For sure. So I wouldn't say he's one of your teammates, but kind of your colleague with Dodge Sports. He fights for LFA tonight, Jared Vandera. Do you have a prediction for that?
My money's on Jared, because that's my boy. All right, and I am literally going there. I will be there, so hopefully they'll end up seeing me on camera, flashy and smiling in my super suit. You feel me? But yeah, my money's on Jared. You know, we're like you said, basically colleagues in the fight sport under the same Dodge Sport. So I'm always end up showing love when I can. You know, and that's for everybody. That's if you know me and I know you. Hey, if I'm able to come, I'm coming. Gotta show support.
Something that was talked about quite a bit was your UFC Greenville Dance. What inspired that?
My Greenville Dance. Basically, just know that I love dancing, man. Like hands down. Actually, it's like second nature to me. If I ain't dancing, I'm moving, and it's like, and if I ain't moving, I'm dancing. So it's one or the other. And I always end up doing it in my fights. Like if you end up like really looking at my my footwork in my fight, I'm dancing out there. 1-2 steps, stepping over, slide, slip, whatever ends up coming down to the moment that you end up in someone's water. And if you're in their water, you got to splash it. You feel me? One time for the whole time. Yeah.
So last couple of questions I have for you, Andre. Where can we find you on social media? And is there anyone you would like to give a quick shout out to? The stage is all yours.
You can definitely hit me on Instagram, Day42, spelled with 2 I's instead of a Y. If it's not there, who knows? Hey, and then at the same time, shout outs to all, everybody, my family, friends, my loved one. And then, obviously the sponsors, even Matt Dodge, and sponsors as in Dynasty MMA, Healthy Body Nutrition, and MMA Signatures, and then 100% Violence. And it's like, so I'm non-violent, but at the same time, you got to rock the shirts to let the people know that we can get 100% violent. You feel me? But yeah,
sure.
So end up and always shout out to everybody,
Awesome. So that looks to be all the time we have today, Andre. Hopefully we can do this again soon.
All right. Definitely lock on, brother.
Awesome. All right. Peace.